Okay, so got the rear wheels on, got the front wheels on, mostly. These these damn holes are not drilled out for an actual socket to fit on the lug nuts. Lug nut wrench, way too big. Socket, still way too big. I mean, look at that. These holes are only 19.5 millimeters in size, and regular socket is right around 20 millimeters. And the actual lug nuts that are supposed to go for this style are 22 millimeters. So these are just regular nuts, not actual lug nuts. But got them on. They look good, but you know, looking at the sizes of these, they can definitely go a lot larger with them tires. Like a lot. I mean, they look like itty bitty baby wheels. They really do. I mean, I could see another 2 inches in the rear and another 3 inches in the front, height-wise. I mean, that is crazy how little they are. But, you know, that's neither here nor there. But yeah, regular jack with a block right across underneath here from this side to this side. You can jack it up, get my ATV jack underneath to get the center hub up high enough to get these wheels on. And now I'm just lowering it after pulling the jack out. And it's slow going because I don't have the wrench for this anymore. Well, at least the socket wrench that goes for it. I have the gigantic tool piece that does, but down is easier than up. And I'm using an O2 sensor wrench because it has a thumb hold to twist with. And now, once this is out, switch it over to I'm gonna switch it over to neutral and just push her off the back. Yeah, I slung the hook up and over because it was in the way, but I'm gonna push it off the back. I've got it blocked on the back, so it'll not sling that steel up in my face. But yeah, the bottom castle under here went through the steel on both sides, so they were a little marred up. But I mean, it only marred up the end of the nut and not the actual castle, or the lug and not the castle nut itself. So not too worried about that, not now at least. But once I get this off, then I'll be able to continue on with the next bit of fun. And we're back. Yeah, got the wheels up to right around 4 psi each. Well, 4.5 for the most part. Again, I'm only using those. And 1/15 for each of the front, and then half of a 25. So that'd be around 35-ish. Say 37 grams each for the front, and then it was 1.5 for each of the back ones to kind of get it, because those are 4.5 psi and these are 4. So I mean it's good pressure for, you know, off-roading. Still want to get them up to, you know, 5 psi each. With them fully inflated, they still look a little on the small side for the ATV. I did measure a little bit, and the fronts I can go up right around 2 inches. Well, 2 to 3 inches in the front, and at least 2 inches in the back. And I can even go wider in the back if I really wanted to. I can go 2 inches wider in the back and still not even hit anything. Granted, once you go up larger, you gotta, you know, change out a few things in the hub. And, you know, if they really wanted to make this thing a powerful beast, they would do like they did on this side and extend a shroud around this with bearings here and here. That way it would support this, which would increase the outside or the rear end suspension a lot more. I mean, if you continued that box back to an actual hub here so that it would be driven through, you could feasibly get at least an 800-pound towing capacity with that, and you'd increase your maximum load on the rear end for, say, if it's got a 245-pound weight limit, you could probably get this up to about 650 on the weight limit. I mean, just by changing out that rear end, or at least adding to it. I mean, all it really would be is something to bolt on that outside edge there. I mean, you got 4 bolts right there. You know, have a bolt-on sleeve. Remove that hub, slip the sleeve on, bolt it on, add the hub. I mean, grease your bearings and stuff. You'd have a bearing set there and bearing set there. It would do quite a bit of reinforcement. And if you really wanted to get in there, have it so that it comes out and around and locks up like sandwiches on here. And then when you have a ball in there, that adds as a point of contact here, increasing. You triangulate the rear end here, and you got force here, force here, force here, straight across. You box in the entire rear end, and that right there increases your weight limit, your towing capacity, everything. You can pretty much add about 70% to your weight limit and your towing capacity. I mean, that's huge. And redid my thumb throttle here, so it's where I like it. I would have liked to see this more rounded, to where instead of it's pointed out, you know, have it come this way more instead of this way. You know, bring this in, you know, say 8 or 9 degrees. That way you're not, you know, hand off of it mostly. Steering's seems to be pretty good. Not sure how that's gonna look with that weird thing in there. I mean, it looks semi good, but I gotta get the key out and make sure that that's not damaged, because I've only put the key in it like twice to see how it looks. But with everything tightened down, it's got a funky look to it. I don't like how this is. I don't like how this is upside down too. So I'm gonna have to loosen this up, bring this down to like here, flip this over in it so that it's right side up. I mean, I don't like how that's upside down. It looks really stupid. But I'm gonna switch that out because I got mirrors coming, and I'm gonna put a mirror here and a mirror here, because there's plenty of room for a mirror set on here. That way I have rear view mirrors. But I mean, there's so much that you got to do on this, and there's no instructions on how to put together. Again, I can put my whole hand back here, and there's nothing back here, so that's where my blinker switch is gonna go, and either my horn's gonna go over here, or it's gonna go down here, or even up here. I don't know yet. I'm gonna fiddle with it. I mean, this thing is massive. I mean, it doesn't look like it in this view, but it is like twice as big as the Polaris was. And the backrest is comfy. I mean, when I'm sitting there, I can just kind of lounge back and kick my feet up, and it's comfortable. It's really comfortable. And another thing is, I got a bracket that'll go underneath here, because this is set up already for a plate light, because the hole underneath of this is clear for a license plate light. So I don't even have to get a license plate light and wire it in. I just have to do the blinkers, and that's it. So that's one less thing I gotta wire in. Another thing that I wish they'd do is wire it in for blinkers, and just like have an accessory cable like right in here where the plug is. Have it like mounted to something to where you can pull this off, and there's a plug there, and it'd be like labeled blinker kit, and then sell the blinker kit as an accessory, because there is a place to bolt something on down here. Have it so that it's an accessory that can get like bolted to this, and then you just get it, and then your switch would be like right here, for your blinkers. You can just have it as sold as an accessory. And then, I mean, these caps unscrew. This whole piece comes out. That's what that is. That piece comes out. See? Sell it as an accessory, rear blinker, and then have it come down to this here and just clip in. Have one clip in for the front, like a little nubby, and then the 2 or the 1 and something inch whatever thing here, have it as a kit. Even if I'm spending $60 on a kit, if it's already pre-ran with wires that I just plug and play, that'd be fantastic. And it would increase the sales of these. Increase the sales, increase the popularity. I mean, that's just a small fraction of what people are looking for, especially people down here where these are street legal. I mean, as it sits right now, it is street legal, 100% street legal. I mean, they don't even require anything at the DMV to prove that you have whatever you need. You just tell them that you want it street legal. But yeah, another thing that changed here is the being a UTV or an ATV. I would have gone with an actual steel, do like a steel box out, and then have a say 3-inch wide piece of tube steel here or right here. Big piece of square tubing steel under here, because right now it's just here. Let's see if I can get it. Yeah, I can't see under there, but it's just a steel rod steel. Do square tubing steel right here or right here for the ATV jack. The big Mamu would slip under here, and then you'd lift up one side at a time. Because then if you have one on here and one on that side, if you have a flat tire or something where you need to, change a tire out, you can attach your jack and lift it up, and you don't need bottle jacks or anything like that. I mean, granted, with a winch on the front, you can sling that up over a tree or something and lift up the front end if you had to. But yeah, I'm gonna fair lead this out as far as I can get it, and then wind it in nice and tight when I get to it. But I'm gonna put my little green block on here, a little bump stop, because I have one left from the Jeep. But yeah, nice good tires, nice knobby tires. Still have to get a different set of lugs, because these nuts do not fit on here. And if I get the actual lugs, see, these are 15s, 15 millimeters, but they don't fit. The wrench doesn't fit. My lug nut wrench doesn't fit. It's just too small. These should have been actual lug nuts, and there is a set of lug nuts that are black, but they use a 14 millimeter wrench, and they are 2 millimeters smaller in diameter, so you won't have that lip in there that does not meet properly. So for 20 bucks, I think it's a 20 pack or something like that. So get them, swap them out for these guys, and then next payday get the rear end, because the rear end, they're 3/4 inch, but they're chrome. Well, not even chrome, they're just steel, and they look ugly compared to that polished steel of the rim. So swap them out for the black painted on kind, well, powder coated, and then it'll match the frame better. It'll just look a hell of a lot better. And as I said, the wiring on this thing, they did the harness backwards, so they put both positive and negative out this back part of the box, so you have to bring it back here instead of having it come out this area to where you can hook it up and under and lock it in. So yeah, it is what it is, but still annoying. But yeah, I mean, looks pretty damn good, minus the small wheels. But yeah, go and get fuel for it maybe tomorrow, and then take it out around the block at least make sure it starts and runs. So talk to you guys later. Okay. As you can see, it's dark 30 out. I got the ATV set up here. The thing in the dash that I was worried about, I don't have to worry about, I guess. Moved this down here. Now it's, in and out. I tested the winch. I pulled it all the way out as far as I can go with it without losing any strength. And the winch has a single line all the way out 30 feet, roughly 30 feet. Switch works. I didn't test the remote yet. I'm gonna save that for later. But yeah, turn the key on. You have your halos. You have your tail light, and as you can see, white light for your license plate. Gauge cluster tells me my fuel's low. It's like, yeah, I know it's low because it's empty right now, at least. See, low beam, high beam, and then just a regular daytime running lights, I guess. But nice bright brake lights. Then you have your run. Yeah, got it pretty much all completed. Now, this video is going to be, for tomorrow, but everything is back to normal. I'm keeping the little safety protective flaps on for now because they're stapled on, and I don't want to take them off just yet, just because. But looks good. I'm gonna order up those. At least I'm gonna order the lug nuts for the front wheels to get them on and set perfectly. The back ones are good for now, but I'm gonna get the ones for the front, and then next payday get the ones for the back, because I think spending like $6,000 one payday is good enough. Still haven't tested that, but that's neither here nor there. I did turn it over once, and it starter works on it. Didn't want to do too much because I'm going to check all the fluid levels, make sure everything's good to go. I'm going to go put like 1.5 gallons or 2 gallons into a gas can and bring it home and throw it in there and get it started up, and then maybe take it for a trip around the yard